What's up, fellas? Had a loyal patron supporter in my comments. He probably gonna know who he is. This was a week or two ago. I think it was maybe last week. Somebody in there off of my video, I was speaking on money in the aspect of being how important it was in a relationship. And somebody in the comments said, well, I ain't know money was the most important thing in a relationship. And then this loyal patron supporter, I don't want to call him that. He a very loyal patron supporter. So I don't want to shit on him. And he said, well, I don't know if he meant money is the most important thing. I think it's the most important thing in a breakup. No, guys, money is the most important aspect of a relationship. Now, I'm not talking about the hypergamy side. Let's just put hypergamy to the sideline right quick. Oh, and I almost forgot. Got it. No, I just can't jump right into the video like that. So y'all guys knows I got my black teeth going back old school. So now I'm doing the videos when I get home from work. All right. So instead of coming on my lunch break, doing the videos on my lunch break, I just decided, you know, sometimes we do shit and you like, I can't believe it took me that long to figure that shit out. So like, I'm thinking to myself, why the fuck am I going home on my lunch break doing the videos, genius? Couldn't you just do them when you get home, right? So being the genius that I am, I finally came to the conclusion that it would be smarter than coming home on my lunch break doing the videos. Then I can just do them when I get home all together. So that's why we back to the OG black t-shirts, right? So I don't have to worry about the suits coming home my lunch break and shit like that. Another thing is, so y'all guys know as you age, you get nearsighted, right? You can't read shit up close on you, right? So the way I have to read my list now, my talking points, is I got to push this paper so far back. This paper, so for me to read my notes, I got to push this shit way back. When I got my glasses on, I can read it like right up on me. The only way I can read my talking points now is I got to push this shit 5 feet back, all right, so I can read it, because I can't read shit up close. As y'all guys know, once you get about, well, for most of us, once you get about 40, 45, somewhere along there, 40 to 45, your eyes just can't read close no more, all right? You need reading glasses and shit to read up close. You got to push shit way back. So I can see, if I push it back far enough, I can see. I just can't read up close. And I don't know what the fuck that had to do with the video, but just thought I would let y'all guys know, all right? Leave it up to AMS to add some shit that has absolutely nothing to do with the video, but just letting y'all know what's going on. All right, but getting back to my point, putting hypergamy aside, guys, is a relationship that just gets by is not going to be a harmonious relationship. Okay, it's not going to be, think of the show Good Times. So I understand my boys in the suburbs didn't watch Good Times. I understand y'all probably watching, I don't fucking know, watching the Cosbys or watching Friends or whatever the fuck. Y'all don't want to watch little poor folk show, Good Times. Y'all were watching the Cosby Show where they got a doctor, husband and a lawyer wife and all this other shit with a big old brownstone in New York City, or I think they was in Philadelphia. I don't know where the fuck they was. They was somewhere in the metropolitan city, right? And y'all don't know reality, but let me just break y'all back to Good Times. All right, if y'all guys watch the show Good Times, I think it's a good look into how a barely making it family makes it, right? And if y'all guys notice, James, the father, was always stressed. He was always stressed. I think one episode he had blood pressure and shit like that. And so that caused him to overreact. And he did a lot of yelling in that show and shit like that. Any of you guys who grew up in poor families, I'm not talking about destitute. I'm talking about where y'all just kept y'all heads above water, trying to make a way when you can, temporary layoffs. Y'all guys know what I'm talking about. If y'all guys would notice, didn't y'all parents have like a lot of little petty little arguments and little bullshit going on? That's what happens when you keep your head above water. Yes, you can pay the bills and it's food on the table, but it's stressful. All right, so I want to get into my talking points exactly why money is the keystone to a relationship. All right, it won't keep no woman. All right, but it matters tremendously and I'm gonna go right into my number one talking point, guys, is stress. Guys, I've never said this, but I wholeheartedly believe this since it happened. When I heard that the Godfather had passed away and it was due to blood pressure, the first thing that went through my head was stress. Dealing with all the scrutiny and all the other bullshit that he had to go through, his haters, I wholeheartedly believe this, his haters and detractors, I believe had a lot to do with that. I honestly do. They say strokes and heart attacks, or heart attacks and strokes, are the number 1 and 2 killers in America. I think that's a bunch of bullshit. I think stress is. Because I guarantee you, if they looked at the underlying factors into that shit, right? Yes, I understand some people eat too much fried foods and some people don't work out. But I bet you, stress, if they did a deep dive into that, stress, there's a reason why meditating is so popular, guys. There's a reason why yoga is so popular. Stress, they do studies on stress, man. Stress is a motherfucker, guys. Stress is hell. Most of the tension and shit go on in your neck and shit, man, that's just stress. You got a headache right now? Probably dealing with stress. They're gonna say, oh, you dehydrated. Dehydrated my ass, dehydrated with stress. So guys, a lot of relationships, man, when y'all see a little bickering and shit that going on. So guys, this is what happens, right? When y'all are just paying the bills, right? And I'm not talking about, guys, this ain't eviction, this ain't starvation, this is not survival mode, none of that bullshit. I'm talking about y'all are able to pay the bills, but every month it's a you know, the check engine light just came on. What that causes you to do? You come in the house, who drank all my goddamn milk? Who drank my last bill? You just overreact from every goddamn thing, right? Your boss said, hey, you got to cut a few hours. It's stress. Stress. Your woman come in, she's slamming doors and this, that, and other. Stress. And you're like, what the fuck wrong with this woman? Stress. Stress is a motherfucker, guys. Stress kills relationships. Even if the bills are being paid, you just be pissed off at the work. You come in the house mad, and it calls you to, goddamn, you don't know how to clean up, and who left the soap open, and who left the toilet seat? Just bitching over any goddamn thing. That's what stress does, guys. Stress kills relationships. A lot of that stress is going to come from just getting by when you just pay the bills. Because see, guys, I done lived like that before. And every month, it's like, woo, made it another month. You paid the bills, but you barely paid it. It's just like you barely crossed the finish line every month. Now you transfer that with a woman, and now y'all turn the smallest little thing. Y'all guys ever been with a woman, and you be telling something, man, I ain't talking about the pullback shit. I'm talking about you got a girlfriend, and she come around you sometimes, she hot and cold. It's just like, what the hell wrong with this girl? Or you ever be with a girl, sometimes she just distant, and you be like, well, her body here, but where her mind at? Her mind on goddamn how she gonna pay that goddamn light bill. That's where her mind at. Her mind is on goddamn her car tapping, and she don't know how she gonna get that motherfucker fixed. That's where her mind at. Whenever you see a woman, you be with a woman and she just distant, the motherfucker stressing. Maybe not financial. Maybe her coworkers getting on her nerves. I don't fucking know. Some, but a lot of times just stress. You do it too. A lot of women say, oh, he be distant sometimes. Yeah, your ass in over there stressing. I got that damn operation coming up and I don't got the damn deductible. So stress, guys, because not only will it cause bickering, it'll cause distance in a relationship. People zone out when they stressing. You know, people be like, they'll be with you, but their mind will be thinking about something else. They be thinking about, man, how the hell I'm gonna get that car fixed? Meanwhile, you over here thinking about, man, who's she fucking? Who's she thinking about? Georgia Power, that's who she thinking about. Jiffy Lube. That's who she thinking about. The mortgage company. Next, guys, a bored woman is a gone woman. So when you don't have any disposable income, you don't have anything to provide experiences. Well, that's fine when the love is new, right? You just happy to have somebody. Listen, all this, guys, all this shit I'm telling you guys, it takes time. One bad month of struggling to pay the rent ain't gonna cause the relationship to fall apart. Do it for 2 years. Do it for 2 years. Y'all gonna be at each other goddamn neck. Dave Ramsey, one thing he always talks about, he always brings up that when he had to file bankruptcy, him and his wife were almost like to kill each other. Not physically, but y'all guys know what I meant. When he had to file bankruptcy, and y'all guys watch Dave Ramsey podcast, he always talks about that. Because that's what money does. A bored woman, guys, ain't no woman just fin to exist with you. I'm sorry. Don't nobody want, guys, I'm gonna tell y'all guys something. I probably will never retire if my body holds up and my mind holds up. And I'm gonna tell y'all guys why. I don't want to just exist on this earth. I don't want to have my retirement money and I'm just scraping by I don't want to, you know what I would do, guys? I would rather, once I reach my retirement goal in my account, I would say, so instead of me getting 65 and saying, man, I got $5 million in my Vanguard account, I'm gonna retire. You know what I would do? I would keep working and just not save any goddamn thing. Because I don't want to just exist. That's why I can never be a minimalist. That's why when y'all hear, when I've talked so much shit about people who brag about being frugal, I don't want to just exist on this earth. Life is too short for that shit. I don't want a woman don't want to keep Netflixing and chilling with you forever and a day. It's a difference between going through a rough patch. Now understand, guys, understand what I just said. We're not starving. The bills are fucking paid, but there's not disposable income you don't have no money to travel. You don't have money to go to nice dinners and shit. Don't no woman want to do that with you for goddamn 10, 20, 30 years. So when a woman leaves a man a lot of time, it's not so much of, I want Gucci and pearls. No, but I don't want to Netflix and chill with your ass every goddamn weekend either. Do y'all guys grasp that? Nobody wants to do that. I don't want to live life like that, guys. I don't never want to sit up here and pinch my pennies and, well, I'm getting by, this, that, man, I want to live life. Guys, honest to God, if I wanted to, even in this high inflation era, if I wanted to, experiences aside and like just paying the bills and just doing the bare minimum, I could live up comfortable off $50,000 a year before taxes. Honest to God, I could. But that's not living, you existing. I trained a married couple, a 72-year-old woman and a 73-year-old man. They were married. I used to train one at 10, I used to train one at 11 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., right? They used to come separate. And every time I would train them, at least once a month, they were traveling somewhere. And at least 3 or 4 nights out the week, they were going to restaurants. They had a rich retirement. That's how I want to live. I don't want to retire and stay in the house and go fishing there. Man, fuck that bullshit. I don't want to exist, so I can just understand why a woman would want to just exist with you. That shit would get boring. So if you don't have no disposable income to provide experiences, you're going to have an issue maintaining relationships. See, a lot of men live in fantasy worlds where they want a woman to just love them, and it's a fantasy. I wouldn't want to exist with your ass either. Next, guys, a stressed woman is a dry woman. A dry, guys, scraping by and paying the bills without experiences and being able to travel and do things doesn't exactly make a woman moist. So when a woman stops wanting to have sex with a man and stuff like that, a lot of men go to immediately thinking about, well, who she's fucking, she's losing love for me. No, stress kills the moisture. I don't know what else to tell you. It kills the moisture. It kills every goddamn thing. It runs up your blood pressure. It gives you headaches. It makes your body tight. It does every fucking thing. Give heart attacks, give strokes, pressure bust pipes. And it stops the flow of fluid once the pipes bust. That's what happens when a woman is stressed. Barely getting by paying the bills. If any of y'all guys have ever noticed, I can guarantee y'all guys, assuming she's there for the right reasons. If she only sees you as a beta male provider, then this don't count. But assuming y'all guys are not dumb enough to get in a monogamous relationship with a woman who views you as a beta male provider, you should never get in a monogamous relationship. You're setting yourself up for heartbreak with that. You're going to have to be a non-naive beta male provider, which means that you don't get in monogamous relationships because, bitch, I know why you here. If you're going to be a beta male provider, and I already done told y'all guys, when I lose my sex appeal, whenever that is, if that's 50, 60, 70, 80, whenever that happens, I am going to be a sponsor. I've told y'all guys this, AKA a non-naive beta male provider. I've already stated that, so I don't want no goddamn body coming out 20 years from now making no documentaries about alpha male strategies now is a fucking trick. I'm telling you now, you don't need the documentaries. I am going to trick when I lose my sexual market value. When I no longer can attract women with my appearance and my personality, I am going to start compensating. And I'm going to do it with a fucking smile on my face. No, I'm not going to buy prostitutes or nothing like that. That just means that I'm going to have to do more, provide more experiences and help out more financially to the women I date, because I know that sexual market value wise, physically, I don't offer what they offer. Plain and simple. I've already told y'all guys that. But getting back to my point, you can't expect a woman, when y'all are goddamn badly keeping your head above water, to want to jump in the sack with you. That don't even make fucking sense when she's stressed out. I'm just letting you guys know that right now. So a lot of you guys might notice that your girl's not in the mood. When y'all guys, one thing they always just say in the movies, well, you sure got a lot of headaches. You sure having a lot of headaches. That's stress. So back in the day, women say, I got a headache tonight. That's stress. You goddamn right, you got a headache. I remember that one time, guys, when I got fired from that mattress company job. Guys, I swear for God, that was my first real experience with stress, because I had my own apartment and shit like that. Guys, I lost like 10 or 12 pounds that 1 week. That 1 week, I lost like 10, 12 pounds. I couldn't sleep or nothing. If any of y'all guys ever had a heartbreak from a girl, I bet your ass couldn't sleep for a week. I'm talking about a girl I ain't talking about some girl that just sucked your dick real good and you miss her blowing you. I'm talking about a girl you really cared about. When y'all broke up, tell me you slept that first week. Now, understand that women are ruled by their emotions and we're more logical. So the way we think is, hey, the bills are paid. So we're not going to be so much, it can, but we won't be as bad as them who are controlled by emotions, right? So we logically will think, hey, things going to get better. But the woman is just, her emotions, she just get to acting like a bitch, which causes you to act like a dickhead, right? Because when she's acting like a bitch, what that causes you to do? You ain't going to just sit there and take it, her slamming doors and refrigerator doors and then walking around with an attitude all the time. What you going to do? You going to turn into a dick. Who the hell she thinks she talking to? Now y'all bumping heads. Next, guys, providing value is the only way to make a woman with options submit. So there's a lot of talk that goes on, guys, with how much money America gives other countries. Oh man, we just so nice. America's so nice, just give away billions of dollars. We just love everybody. We just love everybody. That's a power play. That is a fucking power play. America don't give a fuck about Ukraine, Israel, Africa, or any goddamn other country you could fucking think of. They don't care about none of them. It's all about power and control. That's all it's about. Power and control. I remember the big thing was Diddy gives Carisha $500,000 a month. He's so nice. Oh man, bless his sweetheart. He just love the kids. That's all about fucking control. You guys don't understand nothing about control. The federal government gives states money, I don't know, quarterly or monthly, I don't fucking know, but they give aid, the federal government gives aid to the states. That way you stay our bitch. That way we own you. That why you see when the state got a prisoner and the Fed come in and say, no, we gonna prosecute him. The state, okay. That's why when a crime happen or something, and the FBI come in and say, we taking over the case, the state, okay. You want our federal funding, don't you? Well, you do what we say. When y'all see America giving these countries money and shit like that, don't never think it's because they care about them. It's because they want them to be they bitch. That when we tell you to do something, you very damn well better do it if you want to keep getting this funding. Don't give a fuck about you. We just want you to goddamn stay our bitch. So when we say jump, you say high. And we'll let you know if that's high enough. When you don't provide value to a woman, well, there's no leverage in you to make a woman with options submit. This is why the OG men in the patriarchy wanted women in the household. Women in themselves are too powerful with what they have between their legs that if you give them income, you see what has happened. 80%, 70%, or whatever the fucking numbers is, men can't even get laid. You see what happens. You see why in these Muslim countries, they try to keep women wrapped up, clothed up, and out of the workforce. Because when you let women earn their own money, they control too much power. Because they own the mating. They leverage the mating. When you provide value to a woman, you take that leverage back. You control the relationship. That's why in the whole mating process is at I don't know what to call it, the Holocaust. I don't fucking know what you want to call it, but we're at a pivotal point now because when women don't need men money and they're able to earn their own money, you see what the problem you're having. That's not the way the mating process was set up. It was set up for men to provide. You can't make a woman submit if you can't provide value. She gonna get on your fucking nerves. Why you see so many unhappy relationships. That's why you had it. Because you're not needed as much. So it's imperative that you provide value so you can control your woman. When I mean control, I don't mean your slave. I just mean get her to submit and not fucking emasculate you every fucking chance she gets. So when you provide value, you have that. When y'all are barely getting by, there is no value. As the old saying go, I can do bad by myself. So what you find in these relationships is you find a woman that just won't cooperate. Cooperate for what? There is nothing to cooperate. What is a man's leverage? Him leaving, right? That's his ace of spades. That's his joker. That's his main card. I'll leave. A man who I am scraping to pay the bills with ain't much fear for me losing him. There ain't much. Would you fear losing a 400-pound woman? Then what the fuck does a woman fear losing a goddamn barely keeping our head above water man? That come dime a dozen. That's nothing. So for what you're going to see in these relationships where it's like y'all barely getting by and shit, the man feels really unappreciated and not really respected. Why? Because the woman doesn't fear losing him, because he's not able to provide enough value. You want to know how you get a woman to respect you? Treat her like a queen. That sounds crazy, right? Because we talk, no, women don't respect good guys. Yeah, and maybe in the dating process and shit like that right there. But in a relationship, if you want to get her to cooperate, treat her like a queen. That way, when she don't treat you right, you go back to being a pauper. Yeah, you lose all these good benefits, baby. Don't worry about that. That ain't for you. That ain't for you, guys. You get people to cooperate and to do what you say when you provide them something with the fear of losing it. That's how you get people to cooperate. How does the law get us to abide the law? You lose your fucking freedom. That's why banks ain't worried about getting robbed every fucking second. Because there's a fear of loss of freedom. You have to fear losing something to get people to cooperate. Your job. What do you see from people in unions opposed to just regular jobs? What do you see? What do you see from police officers and stuff like that? People who are in these powerful unions. What do you see? They act a fool, don't they? Because they know it's so hard for them to get fired being in that union. They can get fired, but they really got to fuck up to get fired. That's why you see people in unions, they typically are the laziest, most pathetic workers you'll ever see. I'm not saying all, because you know, some people, everybody don't abuse shit like that, right? If I was in a union, I wouldn't abuse that shit. But a lot of people ain't like that. When they know, oh, you can't fire me. Oh, you can't fire me. Oh no, you ain't gonna get the best out of them. Not everybody. Some people take pride in their work and they're gonna be on point regardless. But then there are those people that when they know that you can't do nothing to them, like diplomatic immunity, what do you see? When there's no fear of loss, you don't get no cooperation. When you don't bring enough value to a woman in a relationship, and that's because you barely keeping your head above water, there's no disposable income to provide experiences and stuff like that and nice things, you get no cooperation. And notice I said a woman with options. Yeah, I'm not talking about that foe you fucking with that nobody want. Oh yeah, you can treat her like shit. She don't care. She don't got no other options. I'm talking about the 8, 9s, and 10s. You know, the women you really fucking want. Oh yeah, guys, listen, this don't go for no 4, 5, and 6s. They don't have the options. So they might be willing to deal with that shit. I'm talking about attractive women. Last, guys, most men lose their abundance when they don't have disposable income. So guys, what I'm basically saying is the average man is not going to be a fucking sex symbol to attract women off his looks. The average man is not going to be a fucking sweet talking ladies man. Understand that. Average man means just that. Average man. A 5'9" average man with an average salary, $50,000 a year salary, with average personality, just an average man, you know, what 80% of the fucking, so what would average be? Below average would be what? The bottom 20%, above average would be what? The top 20%. So really that average, the population would be that 60% in that middle right there, right? The top 20%, then you have the bottom 20%. The average man would be in that range right there, which means he's gonna be an average height, average looks, average salary, average personality, right? He ain't gonna be no fucking sweet talking Billy D. Williams, James Bond motherfucker. He's gonna be an average guy. The average man gets a lot of his swag from what he's able to provide. That's why you see a lot of men, when they have a dip in their salary, they lose a little of that swag. They lose a little of that abundance. That's what you see. You see it with basketball players, football players. When they lose a little bit of their ability, they don't walk the same. They don't do that snarl the same. Once they lose, y'all guys remember how Mike Tyson was when he was the baddest man on the planet in the 80s, how he used to walk to the ring and get in the ring. You ain't see that when at the end of his career then. He kind of got in the ring, kind of like, oh, I got to do this again. He lost a little of that swag. That's the same thing what happens with a man when his income ain't where it's supposed to be. He don't have that swag, that abundance. Because he knows, hey, I'm just an average guy. Well, what that does is, guys, that causes you not to be as dominant in the relationship. You don't check your woman the way you should. You don't move like a man who knows he got a lot of options. It's just human nature, guys. It's just human nature. That's why I tell y'all guys to work on yourself best you can be so you can get that abundance. It's just human nature. If you're average height, average looking, average personality, average salary guy, how the fuck are you supposed to just act like you're a top 10 guy? Just snap your fingers and just, wow, man, I got abundance now. I just snap my fingers and I just feel like I got all these options now. You getting more likes on day naps? No, but I just feel it. No. So what ends up happening is a lot of times the average man who don't have that salary, it's harder for him to have that dominant frame with a woman where he's in control, where he can check everything, because it's just natural, because guys like this typically just can't replace a woman just like that. It sounds good in theory. Oh, guys, I live in reality. I hear dating coach. I listen to people sometimes and I'm like, people are not living in reality. They live in a fantasy world. Like, they just make up shit as they go. Like, right, you supposed to just snap your fingers and, oh man, I got abundance. It don't work that way. Abundance comes from the options that you see presented before you. That's where the abundance comes from. Typically, that's going to be from what a woman can observe from you. Are you extremely attractive? Nope, you're average. Do you make a hell of an income? Nope, you're average. Do you have hell of a charisma? Nope, you're average. So where's the magical options supposed to just come from out of thin air? So that's why it's imperative for a man to be on his shit to get that income, to get that abundance, so he can get that dominance, so his woman respects him. You making $150,000 a year, you know shit, I replace your ass real quick. $150,000 a year, guys, you're going to have a nice car, a nice crib, you're going to dress nice. You're going to know, hey, I got everything it takes to go out and get another woman with no problem. You making $20 an hour driving a forklift and you average height, average looks. How you supposed to go home and be all in this dominant abundance frame when before this woman, you was in a 3-year drought? You know what I would be thinking if I was like that? Man, I can't lose this. I'd probably be in scarcity. Fuck abundance, I'd probably be in scarcity. But you make $150,000 a year, you thought that I'm a good catch. So if she don't wanna respect this, what I bring to the table, then I just go find another girl, because I'm bringing value. Shit, she gonna treat me wrong. Shit, I got the Benz. I got the high-rise apartment. I dress nice. Shit, I ain't taking that shit. I know I'm a catch. $45,000 a year. Man, I better go home and make sure we work this out. Man, AMS talking about something, you better leave. Man, I was in a 3-year drop before I got this girl, man. AMS gonna have me in another 3-year drop. I ain't listening to his ass. Me and my baby gonna work this out. And she just lose more respect. Women don't respect working it out. Communication is, you communicate, right? But if there's no compromise, you don't just capitulate. If she's not willing to compromise, then you have to walk away. So you communicate to get a compromise, right? If there's no compromise, you walk away. That's the way it works. Some women enter this communication phase as in you compromise and you listen to me and you capitulate. I do nothing. You be my bitch. That's when you got to walk away. Some women enter these communications in bad faith with no intentions of compromising. It's just my way or the highway. And that's why I tell you got to walk away. Because women typically don't go into it with a compromise. They go in it from a position of strength. You compromise. She's only willing to compromise when you walk away. She only comes back and suck a whole lot of cock if you bought enough value. All right, guys. So hope y'all guys learned something from this. Money is the root of every relationship. Every relationship. It handles the stress and the bullshit and the respect. Everything that go, it's the foundation. It's the foundation of everything. You can get away with it for a little while. Guys, you can get away with it forever. You can be in a 40-year marriage. This is when you see the woman control the relationship because the man has no power in it. You can be in one of those. But you would much rather be in a position where you're the dominant force in the relationship. All right, guys. I'll get back with you guys next time.